台上5位嘅講者先嘅。咁啊喺台嘅中間，咁就係我哋警察公共關係科助警司謝振中先生。咁而家謝 Sir 嘅左手邊，咁就係我哋警察公共關係科高級警司江永祥先生。喺江 Sir 嘅左手邊咧，咁就係有組織罪案及三合會調查科高級警司李桂華先生。咁我哋翻返去阿謝 Sir 嘅右手邊，咁就係行動部高級警司汪威信先生。咁啊，汪 Sir 嘅右手邊咧就係行動部嘅總督察張凱儀女士。咁稍為幾位講者咧會先後發言嘅，咁啊跟住就會有個答問環節。咁麻煩想發問嘅傳媒代表咧，咁麻煩舉一舉手，咁啊講出你自己嚟自邊個傳媒機構，咁啊最多發問3條。咁啊事不宜遲啦，我將個時間交俾謝 Sir。
各位好，今日記者會咧，除咗希望同公眾講解翻琴日示威嘅情況同埋警方嘅一啲行動之外咧，我哋亦都留意到咧，公眾對上星期5法院就住警務人員被起底而頒布嘅臨時禁制令咧，提出咗一啲質疑，我亦都會喺度作出一啲回應。另外，我哋亦都會澄清公眾對警方使用顏色水同埋警犬執勤嘅一啲疑慮。喺開始之前，我哋準備咗一段短片，概括咁講翻琴日一啲破壞嘅情況，我哋先睇一睇。
深水埗夜晚近7點鐘，有人堵路，向深水埗警署掟汽油彈。2個路人差啲被掟中。長沙灣政府合署有蒙面嘅人打開門口嘅鐵板縱火。幽魂360再成為攻擊嘅目標。另一個出口就有人縱火。件衫被扯爛。件衫被扯爛。夜喺羅浮崗第6區亦都有爭執，一個着紅色衫嘅男人被指影相，要求佢清場，咁多人糾打佢。又將佢撳喺地下。男人嘅面部流血，之後自行離開。
下晝大約4點幾，有人喺東鐵線紅磡站同旺角東站之間嘅路軌掟3個雪糕筒同1個垃圾桶，威脅列車運作安全，服務受阻大約10分鐘。
好，接住落嚟咧，我一路講嘅時候咧，
As I go on, there will be photos shown on the TV screen to assist my explanation. Yesterday, thousands of demonstrators congregated at Tsim Sha Tsui with no objection principle from the police, blocking roads and attacked the police. You saw how they vandalized Yau Chi Mong. They used tools to trying to break the locks of banks, set fire to shops and exits of MTR. And then at some Shui-Po, they hurled petrol bombs and they almost hurting civilians. And at one pole, they damaged coffee shops, and Tsiong Sha Wan, they damaged the government offices there and set fire there. And then there were also cases where innocent civilians were beaten. They were not police officers, and masked gangsters hurled petrol bombs and metal poles and bricks at police officers, and they even used hard objects such as umbrellas to attack officers. You may not know that after the chaos yesterday, around 4 a.m., some cleaners, when cleaning up the items at the junction of Nathan Road and Arsenal Street, they found a white foam box with words "unexploded and danger" written on top of it, and then that case was classified as a bomb scare. Because of what happened yesterday, the police took the initiative to intervene to prevent matters to get worse. We searched and arrested violent and law-breaking elements, and acting on intelligence, we ambushed those elements and effected quick arrests, and that was very effective. Last night at Mongkok, a mob was trying to damage the hoarding of a bank, and we arrived quickly and subdued mail. And we noticed that yesterday there were restaurants and pharmacies and cafes affected. Police representatives have tried to approach these operators to show our concern, to explain our things to them. We understand that the police are a very passive role. Very often, the rioters went into the community and hurt civilians and vandalized things. It was not for the police to decide where we take law enforcement action. And when they are breaking the law, you can see them shouting rain, open the umbrella, trying to hide the process with umbrellas. This is because they have a sense of guilt, and they know they were wrong, and then they dare not let reporters, members of the public, to film them, to film their ugly and wicked behavior. Most pathetic of all, for people who supported rioters, they thought that they were just trying to shield the rioters of the umbrella. They were not breaking the law, but I have to point out that they might be assisting or abetting other persons to break the law, and they have to be held criminally liable. Masked rioters and their supporters knowingly broke the law and challenged our law and order. We have to point out to them seriously. I don't think that those who are fierce are correct, and don't think that they can do anything by hiding their identity. All rioters and their supporters will ultimately be brought to justice and be held criminally liable for what they have done. As regards the interim injunction granted by the court, even for things that take place on the internet, there are laws to govern them. Many keyboard warriors use loopholes in the internet, and they publish the photos and personal data of police officers and families, and they dox police officers, and some of them are subject to nuisance in their daily lives, and the situation is getting serious. This psychological damage and trauma is just as serious as physical damage. and can even be more serious. We will use all lawful, reasonable, appropriate means to stop such things from happening, including seeking redress from the court. The court handed down an interim injunction order last week to restrain doxing and harassment against police officers and their families, and also remove some already published personal data. Anyone who breaks the injunction can be liable to contempt of court. We have sent out a very clear message to the public. Any malicious doxing and harassment is wrong and should be condemned and boycotted. The court agrees that police officers are just like ordinary members of the public. They need and have the right to be given the same protection under the law.
The police management notices that some in the legal community and the press association question the wide-ranging injunction that people may break the law by accident and might use to clamp down on press freedom. I can assure you that this is not true. The purpose and the intention of the injunction is to protect police officers and their families free from the malicious harassment from some of the perpetrators and the criminals, as to against malicious doxing. From June, over 2,500 police officers and their family members have been doxed. Their details and their photographs have been posted online. The police had a responsibility to protect enforcement officers from malicious doxing and harassment. As for the role of professional media on having a police oversight and press report would not be affected by this injunction, because this injunction only affects malicious doxing. The objective professional reporting and commentary by the media have nothing to worry about. In fact, through the legal avenues to stop vicious doxing through interim injunction, the police did not act alone. And in September, a media organization reported having doxed and also applied for interim injunction from the court. The police also understand that the social criticism from the court injunction is stemmed from the concern of identifying police identities when police are handling protest activities. I would like to explain in detail all the measures on police identification numbers. As you've seen this week, and some police officers at the scene of the protest, on their uniforms they have put on a white tag. Unlike what the public has said, just some random piece of paper. It's actually a card issued officially by the force, which stated their postings. For example, PTU-A1, 1/1. These stand for the operational call sign, representing their own formation, subunit, and post. Each call sign of each police officer is unique. As in the past, we have been using this operational call sign for some operation formation, for example, those in the PTU, to identify the posting internally. And since the call sign is unique, that doesn't mean all police officers only take part in operations or have operation needs. They'll be given one. The purpose of the call sign, besides denoting the location, is also unique for their identification. In view of the serious doxing situation by police, is to balance the need for the public to identify police officers for complaint and also protecting the privacy of the officers and their families. And this operational call sign measure will be gradually implemented in phases to all the deployment formation who took part in the handling the protest activities. Anyone who would like to make a complaint can also provide this operation call sign to be complaint against policeman office to identify the identities. I hope the public can understand that the implementation of this call sign is to actively respond to public concern, as well as strike a balance between public interest and protecting the officer's privacy. And for the so-called face mask worn by police officers is not to evade responsibility or to prevent being doxed. They are actually protective gear. In the past, police officers have been had their eyes and injured by rioters and their lips and cut by metal beads fired by slingshots. And even some police officers were doused in corrosive liquid. In such a violent scene of protest as an employer, the police, as a responsible organization, had a duty to protect enforcement officers from injury by attacks from rioters. Thus, the management have provided facial and head protective gear to frontline. Some of the gear can protect long-distance metal beads attack, and some of the gear of fabric can prevent people using sharp object of knives to stab the neck and the face. And if the officers have been doused in corrosive liquid, they can minimize the damage. For example, some of the face mask, fireproof mask, and a neck covering. So it's the face of the officers is not the only way to identify officers. The only effective way, feasible way, is to get their operational call sign. Hope that public can give some time while we gradually enhance this measure. And now I pass on to Mr. Kong for operational and arrest figures. But over the past week, till last night, the police have arrested a total of 206 persons, including 148 men and 58 women, aged between 12 and 63 years old. They are suspect of illegal assembly, possession of offensive weapon, possession of articles for illegal purpose, criminal damage, assaulting police officers, wounding, arson, and using face covering object in illegal assembly. And in the past week, there have been no court prosecutions. And on ammunition, as of last night, over the past week, the police have used, on 21st of October, we've used 102 CS grenade and CS round, 11 rubber baton round and rubber slug, 6 super sock, and 140 mm launcher. And for last Tuesday to Friday, which is 22nd, 25th, we haven't used any ammunition. As for this Saturday, we have used 5 CS grenade and round, 8 rubber baton round and rubber slug, and 1 super sock. On yesterday, 27th of October, Sunday, we have used a total of 88 CS grenade and round, 27 rubber baton round and rubber slug, and 20 rubber sock, and 6 40 mm launcher. And a number of injured police officers. And over the past week, we have 7 police officers injured in operations. Of the more severe cases, which include yesterday, a police officer suffered a fall while giving chase on Argyle Street. And actually, another officer was hit by a break on his left rib, which led to fracture, and while conducting dispersal operation on Nathan Road. And now clarifications. And with some media report and on social media, we saw that on 1st of October in the Two Moon protest, that were pepper sprayed by the police, which led to burns in his legs, and accused the police of adding ingredients in the spray, and, for example, corrosive chemical substance. I must sternly point out that the police will not resort to the use of corrosive liquid. On the other hand, on that day, the rioters have used the corrosive liquid on our officers. On that day, through various news clips, and some of the rioters have assault officers with corrosive liquid. Not only that, reporters have also been wounded. At this moment, due to limited information, just looking at the photos, that injury from the photos is similar to the colleague injured by the corrosive liquid. Another clarification on the colored water used by a special crowd management vehicle. I know that organizations have issued a declaration and claim conducted testing on the water used by the SCMA.
And they speculated that our colored water may contain harmful tear spray liquid or pepper spray liquid. In fact, I have to say that the colored water we use are not harmful to a human body. It can be added into water, and also PAVA used in our special crowd management vehicles. And the PAVA can only cause a short-term discomfort on the part of people hit by it. It will not have any permanent effect. You can use plenty of water to wash away the PAVA, and the discomfort will go away very soon. And we also notice that on the 20th of October, after the police used colored water on a special crowd management vehicles affecting the mosque at Tsim Sha Tsui, and somebody faked the name of Mr. Lam Chiu Wai and wrote letter to Mr. Mohan Jagani asking Mr. Jagani to stop smearing the police and to withdraw his complaint against police officers. I have to point out that the letter is not from the JPOA. We're actively following up the matter to see who was the imposter. And people are now trying to cause division between the police and the community. This is frivolous and very naive. In fact, the police have tried very hard to maintain good relations with our ethnic minorities, with a lot of opportunities for cooperation, and our relations cannot be harmed by such mean behavior. And there are reports that the police would like to restrict some public activities and may regulate activities such as jogging training in public areas. I have to point out that we have to work according to the law, and we cannot tighten any restriction on our own. According to the Public Order Ordinance, if anyone would like to hold a competition, then such as jogging, they have to apply to get a road use permit from the police. And under the Public Order Ordinance, any rally or procession with more than 30 participants have to be notified to the police. And we are only dealing with our work under the current legal framework. We will not tighten the restriction on our own. And as for leisure activities with not without any competition element, such as jogging or running. Now, if the organizer feels that they need our help in traffic management and keeping order, they are welcome to approach us. We're willing to offer assistance in helping to manage the traffic and the order, and we're not helping them to manage the public rally. And then there was another report. At around 10 p.m. last night, some riot police went into Kwong Wai Hospital, causing some criticisms. I have to clarify that a police officer was injured, and then he was escorted to Kwong Wai Hospital for treatment by some of our colleagues. And we received notification from Kwong Wai Hospital that there were people trying to vandalize the CCTV outside the main entrance of the hospital. So some officers went to the main door trying to disperse those rioters. We succeeded in subduing an 18-year-old male, and we found in his backpack a 30 cm long hammer, a 12 cm long cutter. So we have arrested him of unlawful assembly and possession of offensive weapon. Let me reiterate anywhere where a crime is happening, we have the duty to see to it, and we have to arrest the person concerned, and we will not condone any violent behavior. We've noticed that the public have some concern about the deployment of police dogs to scenes of clashes, such as where sometimes tear gas is deployed out